We're about to rehouse my female Phormictops species, Blue. I've been waiting for this one to molt like, God, it's been 7-8 months. I picked her up for stamps from Stamps Tarantulas with a male about a year and a half ago, actually, I think. And she's molted once in my care, but the male's starting to put on some serious size, and I'm trying not to overfeed them, so hopefully I'll be able to breed these guys. Because unfortunately, if the male hooks out and she wasn't ready, then I was going to be in trouble. But I think I've got it timed well. Now, I bought this species having never heard of species Blue before, and I've made a lot of statements about Phormictops and the genus being kind of a mess, and I think a lot of these color morphs they've been talking about are Phormictops species purple, species blue, species green. It's all confused right now. A buddy of mine, Nicholas C. from the Tarantula Forum, actually pointed me in the direction and sent me an article that was on the BTS, British Tarantula Society website. And it was by some guys who have been breeding Phormictops, and they were giving some of their observations, non-scientific observations, but observations about some of the identifications we have. One of the things that came out of it was that there are apparently 3 species greens, including the gold thorax, gold thorax, I believe, green femur, and then the full green. So right now I've got the green femur, one of the most beautiful spiders I have in my collection. I just bought some full greens. And I don't have the gold thorax. I think gold thorax, right? Why does that not sound right? We're going to go with that. I'll double check and put it in the notes if I'm wrong. However, although the blue was mentioned, there was no real details on it. And now that she's molted, I was kind of expecting her to be like blue all over. And I'd seen some pictures online of the supposed species blues. Now, granted, you never know what you're looking at or how good the identifications are. But if you look at this girl here, not a lot what I would call blue, but she doesn't look like a Canceretus. So one of the thoughts was the species blue was just a different type of Canceretus, a different color variation. And it doesn't look like a Canceretus. The thorax is basically a pinkish gold. There are pinkish gold bands around each joint, which haven't gone away yet. And I have pictures of her right after she molted, and I thought those were going to kind of actually harden up and go away, and they didn't. And her femurs are darker than the rest of her legs. The abdomen is kind of a bluish gunmetal gray, a weird kind of gray. I don't even know. Hopefully this comes out on film. So maybe this is just an oddly colored Canceretus, and I hope people that have adults out there will be able to chime in. Anybody that has a species blue that can chime in and tell me if that's what I'm looking at, because I have a funny feeling this might not be what they've been referring to as a species blue. I'm not sure. This is one of these situations where I bought it. I was hoping it was going to come out blue. It didn't. It's a beautiful spider nonetheless. I don't care. But now I'm kind of curious as to what the heck I have. So we'll call it Phormictops species blue for the time being, but I'm not sure that's what it is. I don't think it was missold on purpose if that's what it was, but as I just dropped the cup right over. I got to surprise myself with that one. So we're going to go ahead and get her in a new, larger enclosure. I was waiting to get her out of here until after she molted. Yeah, I know. I absolutely love it. I have 3 female Canceretus or Cancerides the same size as her, and nothing looks like this. Let me see. I'm going to open it up. You see? Weird coloration. I love those little bands. Like, I don't know what the heck that is. So let's see if I can coax her out. I'm going to fall here. No, I want to go. Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. There you go. Yeah, don't kick. Make sure to grab this right out of my hand. Oh my God, just reminded me somebody asked on Facebook for me to show how I do the holes in these. Crud. I apologize. I will go and look that up in a minute and get the pictures. I kind of just guess with the holes in the cups. There's... Whoop, there we go. Which isn't kicked yet. All right, I'm going to go pull this up. Hope we get a good shot. There she is. Almost like a salmon pinkish. Like, I don't... We'll see what happens when the male matures. I mean, I'm sure that the male will pick up a color, so if the male has that blue, maybe it's one of those species. And with a lot of Phormictops, the males are very brightly colored. They have the purples and the females don't, but I was under the impression that the females were kind of a uniform dark color with a blue sheen to them. But whatever this one is, it's gorgeous. And I do implore anybody that keeps Phormictops species, if you have one that looks like this, please let me know. Because I do want to breed them, but I don't want it to be something where I'm breeding a species and I'm not exactly sure that it's what they say it was. It was like my Phormictops species greens that I have. It ends up they're green femurs, which that's a little bit different. So I want to keep those all separate. But beautiful species. About the enclosure, I do start them off with moist substrate. This is moist substrate, a mixture of topsoil and vermiculite. I've been using a lot of vermiculite lately because I just like the way it holds the water. And I will moisten down the enclosure every once in a while, but they do fine when it gets dry. So I've heard a lot of people say they don't want to get Phormictops because they don't want to deal with a moisture-dependent species, but I haven't found that to be the case. They molt wet, they molt dry, they grow about the same rate if they're kept wet or dry. So I haven't seen a real big difference there between the two. So they're very, very hardy species overall, but beautiful, beautiful girl. This might be a temporary enclosure because she might get a nice acrylic one so I can see her more like my green femur. But there it is, supposedly a Phormictops species blue female. We're going to continue to call her that, and hopefully some people that have Phormictops will kind of chime in and tell me what they think. But looking pretty, and as far as the size now, she's probably pushing 6.5 inches. Her molt is right around the 6.5 inch mark, so 6.5, 7 maybe. So big spider, big girl. Those should be her adult colors. It's actually looking kind of bluish in the phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe
Blue,
it is.
blue, gray, big time.
Yeah, who knows? I kind of thought they were going to be uniform.
Look at the blue there.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
can see
totally blue.
All right, well, maybe she is. We'll go with it. I like it. But again, anybody that has these or knows somebody that raises these, if you want to check them out, that would be great because I am trying to get them all and I want to make sure they're labeled correctly. So there we go. Phormictops species blue, supposedly, until I find out otherwise. And getting nice and big, and hopefully that male will molt out soon and maybe we'll breed and get some babies.